Would you like to get the distance in miles between two cities that a subscriber would like to know? Well, I'm going to show you how to get that now.
We'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
All right, so let's get this party started. And we're going to talk about calculating or getting the distance between two cities. Now, as of this video, I can tell you right now, I'm not getting the results that we want as far as between countries. So let's say Paris, France, and Austin, Texas. It's coming back with no results. So I am investigating that right now, but everything works within a country. So you should be able to take this video and do anything that's within the US or within Canada or within France. I can't get them between countries. I'm not sure why. I do have a question into Google, actually, one of the sites where basically everybody asks questions, Stackflow. I think it's Stackflow. Anyway, I'll get back to you on that. And what I'll probably do is just do a little video and stick it down in the comments somewhere or in the description for that. But here, I'm going to walk you through how to use Google. Let's see, it's Google Distance. Clear this out. Google Distance Matrix API. So first, what we want to do is create a flow that's going to ask for a city and state. So we're going to ask for a city and state where we're going to start from. And what I did is I used a input, basically just grabbed an user input. You need the pro version to do this. And what I did is I created that and I just saved it in a text field, D from city state. And we're bringing in text. We want them to type it in. And then we have a second user input block to collect the to city and state. And now if you're doing country, it would be city and country. So like Ontario, Canada, or Paris, France. So we're saving the to city and state in another text field. And then I just have a message. And then after that, we're going to drop down into the dynamic content call. And here we're going to do a get, and we're going to pass in two query parameters, the from city and the to city. And we're going to call, I have a endpoint, an API on glitch.com that I'm using to process this request. And that is it. Basically we're going to put that in here. So we're going to jump over to glitch.com. We're going to go over the code there. So here you can create an account in glitch.com, and then I'm just going to go there. I'm going to show you. Go to glitch.com, create an account, and then you're going to say a new project. You're going to get a new project. What I do is I usually pick the Hello Express project. So if you're going to use Glitch, you can do that, or obviously you can do this on any other server, any other platform hosting where you can run an API. So we're going to go back to the program. So there's a couple of things to set up. We're going to bring two dependencies in. When you use Glitch, most of this is automatic, except for we're going to add request and request promise as dependencies, packages that you get from, you can go to npm, which is a place where all the packages, at least for Node.js, I believe that's all that's in there. And then most of the time, the code, actual code and stuff, the source is stored on GitHub. So you could go to GitHub. You could go to GitHub and search there. I mean, if you use PHP, use those, you can go there, and I'm sure there's an example, something that you can use. I'm not using any package per se for the Google API. I'm just using request and request promise in order to use that to process the request in my program. So now we're going to go back to the project and let's see, make an instance of request promise. And then we really don't need this get. You can take that out. It's basically displaying this HTML, and we're not going to use that. And then you're going to have a endpoint called dist. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm calling linentaxi.glitch.me/dist. That's my endpoint that I'm going to. To get this part of the URL, you can just go to share and then copy this, and it'll copy the beginning part there, and then you can paste that in, and then obviously put the /dist. And then we're going to pass 2 query parameters with a question mark. From city equals the from city, and then ampersand to city equals the to city state. We kind of covered that before. I'm going to go back here. Now, I'm not going to go over how to get the API keys from Google. I just have to query that. What I would do is query Google Distance Matrix API. You're going to find a page. It's going to walk you through it that you have to go get an API key and all that good stuff. Where you're going to store that API key, and I'm just going to show you real quick. Mine is going to be blurred out, and you're just going to get an API key that you're going to use for this call. What we're going to do here then is construct the URL for the call. And so we're going to create a constant request options. And the one parameter of that is the URL. And it's calling the Google Distance Matrix JSON. And then we're passing some query strings to it. Units, imperial. Not sure what that does, but it came from the example, so I kept it in there. And then ampersand origins, where we want to start and where we're going to end. What that's going to give you is you're going to put the from city in here, and what this part is going to make sure that you know is request.query is an internal how you're passing it. But this name there is the name you give it here. So whatever you put here, you need here. And then obviously destinations, origin, where you're starting from, a destination where you're going to city. And then we have our key at the end. And what the key is, I'm trying to see it, my microphone's in the way, is it's going to be ampersand key and then process.env dot the G API key. That's the part that you have in the environment file. And then the process.env is just a system direction to that secrets file. So now you have the URL set up, and then you're going to have headers. You're going to tell it, application JSON that you want JSON back, and then JSON true. So now we're going to run the request promise get using those parameters request options. And then a then operator, meaning that we're going to, let's bring it, once we have the request, we come back, we get the data. You don't have to do this, but I just put all these in there because I wanted to see. I was having some issues, obviously, like I said, going between countries. And I wanted to see what I was getting. I was getting 0 results. So I'm not sure what it wants. I'm going to see what it, and like I said, I'll update you guys on it and create a small little video or something in the comments later. Right now, you can do it within a country. And then you get the distance, saving it this is actually the text that has miles behind it. And then this is the number only that I'm going to store. And then I was doing some more counsel there. And then we're going to send a response JSON back using ManyChat's format to send a message back telling them the distance between the two. And then we're going to store that in a custom user field, the distance, so we have it. And let's see. So just to give you a little help, the format of that JSON that you're sending back is based on, if you go into your dynamic content block here and do help, you're going to take to this page where it's going to explain to you the formatting of the JSON version 2, blah, 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 messages, actions, reply, quick replies, and then the details of each, how to send an image, how to send a video, all those types of things. So I just wanted to give you that heads up. Now we're going to go back to the program, and that is it. That is your process to get the distance. We're going to call this API, going to get the information, and we're going to process it. Now, we're going to test this. I'm going to run it, save it, publish it. So we're going to preview this. Move me up over here. And let's see. I'm going to enter in. So we're traveling to Austin. I don't know how many people are coming to the conference, but I will be there. Got a little surprise for you guys. A little game to play. So find me and we can talk. And I'm going to give you something that you can play a little game on within Messenger. So I am leaving from Germantown. I am road tripping it, so I am driving into Austin. Let's see how far it is. I'm going to start from Germantown, Wisconsin. And we're going to go to Austin, Texas. See what we get here. So I got 1,214 miles. Well, I won't be doing that in one day. I am stopping halfway on the way. So anyway, so I got the distance between the two. So let's go out to my audience and let's see if the field got updated. We have ZZ distance, 1,214 miles. So it got updated. So a few things that happened here. We got the distance, we sent a message, and then we also stored the miles within a custom user field, a ManyChat custom user field in ManyChat, so we could use it for other things. So I'm gonna take this. I had most of the video done, and I went back and like, oh, I didn't really explain the JSON. It's coming back. So I do want to just kind of interrupt the flow of this video to kind of go over the JSON. And so we're going to go back to the example of going from Germantown, Wisconsin to Austin, Texas. And we have this data here. So what's going to happen is the data is going to come back in this format. And so the second display, so I did console.data or data, and then console data.rows, and then console data.rows first occurrence in the array elements. So that way, when I did the data rows, then it just gave me the elements and the object. What we want to do is we want to get inside that object. So by doing that, you go data.rows first occurrence in the array, dot elements, the first occurrence in the array, and then you can get to the object in that array and then you could get to distance and duration. And then you can get to the text. So what I did here is if we look at this, I went data.rows, first occurrence in the array, dot elements, first occurrence in the elements, distance, text. So it's distance and then text in the object. And because distance is in an object, and a JSON object, and then this text is in a JSON object, noted by the curly brackets. The flat brackets are for arrays. The curly brackets are for JSON or an object. So we dug deep into that array, into another array, into an object, into another object to get the information. So hopefully that makes sense. I just wanted to kind of go over that because here's a distance, what I did right here. To get the distance that says right here, 1,214 miles, it's this part. So that's where this is right here. That's what I grabbed. And so what I was doing is data.rows, first occurrence is 0. In an array, the first occurrence is 0, not a 1. Kind of goofy, but that's the way it is. Dot elements, and it's another array. Uh-oh, what did I do there? Okay. I have another array. And I have that. There. Have another array, 0, and then dot distance dot text. So I just wanted to go over that so that you understand how to dig into that JSON that you get back to get the information. So we'll go back to processing the video or going through the video. I'm going to I interrupted with this piece. So let's test out, I'm going to test out another one. Whoops, I'm going to do that. And we're going to say, oops, Paris, France, to, I think, Lyon. Try that one. Lyon, France. And so we should be able to get the distance between, yep, there it is, 289 miles. Now, if you do enter, let me do this. What I was testing is Paris, whoops, Paris, spell, type, Paris, France, to Austin, Texas. I did something wrong there. Wow. How's that firing off? That's interesting. Been some weird things happening. I don't know where that flow came from. That flow is way, way, way different. What the heck? Okay. We're going to preview this again. Let's see. All right. There we go. Wow. That was freaky. That's a whole different, oh, look at that. There's a message in between the other part. So I don't know what happened there. I missed what you said. What was that? Sorry, Jeff. Huh. Interesting. That was a default reply. And fired some stuff off. So now enter the city state to where we're going. Okay. Austin, oops, Texas. Austin, Texas. So we're between countries, and it's just not liking it. But I'm going to show you what you want to do, and I can show you what's going on in the program. Sorry, we cannot get the distance of these two cities. Try again. And how you set that up is, well, one, I'll show you in the log. So when you're in glitch.com, you have a log. You can kind of track everything. And you can see, okay, let's see. A couple of things that I want to point out is here's the distances between Austin, Texas, and Germantown. And it actually will give you duration too. And so you can get the time it takes. Not sure what that value is, but it'll take the time. That might be a minute. I don't know, because there's a value up here too. It's hours and minutes, so you can get that. And then you can see here, France, Lyons, and Paris, and you can get the time. And then you can see that I came in here and did Austin and Paris, and it came back with 0 results. And then you get an error because I'm trying to read something that's undefined, because I'm trying to reference something that didn't get passed back. So you get an error. And instead of letting the bot just stop, what you want to do is you want to set a fallback on. And so what I did is I set up a fallback message. Sorry, Jeff, we cannot get the distance of these 2 cities. Try again. So that way, and you can put anything. You can put more buttons. You can say try again, whatever you want. But it's very important to put the fallback in there so that if your program does error out, that you don't leave the subscriber hanging in the process. So, all right. Well, that is it for today. I'm getting the mileage or the distance between 2 spots. Well, that concludes our video for today on getting the distance between 2 cities that your subscriber has given you. We looked at how the Google Distance Matrix API can get you that information once you get a starting point and an ending point. You can also get the duration as far as the time if you want between those, and then many, many other options that are within that API that we didn't really go into, but I showed you on the Google page. If you have any questions or comments on it, please post them down below. Happy to answer them. And as always, like the video, share it across the world, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future videos. Click the little bell so that you get notification when I do upload a new video. I will be putting out a small little video. I'll put it in the description or in the pinned comment once I find out from the resources out there how to get across country. So from, let's say, Ottawa, Canada to Austin, Texas. For whatever reason, the API was not working, so I'll see if I can get that for you, and I'll post it down below. And also down in the description, I have a great course, the ManyChat Toolbox. It would teach you how to use these APIs and really learn about JSON API calls and those, and some other, have a lot of examples within the course as well that you can do, so check it out. As always, have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video.